Good evening. Welcome to Offseason, presented to you by Vision Exteriors, coming to you live from the Sterling Soap and Roastery Studios, part of the Believe and Buzz Radio Network, where you can hear us each week on 106.7 Buzz 2 in Central Arkansas. All live shows are coming to you by Arkansas Brewing Company in downtown Ozark. I'm Porter Hayes, alongside me as always, and on tonight's show, we will be pumping up fall camp, talking about Ryan Mallett, Clint Stoner, and others being inducted into the Arkansas Hall of Honor. And some clips we got from first day the media press conference today about the football team and a bold claim from a local car dealer. So, Adam, fall camp starts tomorrow. Guess you can kind of technically say this would be our last off-season show, because next week we'll have some actual football stuff to talk about besides how fast people run. It's one of those things. We made it through another summer. Football is to be played. High school football starts in 20 days for if you count the scrimmage games. So it's getting closer and closer by the day.
Well, you've got the Hall of Fame game tonight, I believe. Yeah. So we'll have, I believe, a couple of Razorbacks. Maybe we'll get to see them. Forget who it was right quick. I know I had a text earlier about it. Rocket Sanders versus Isaac Tesla tonight. So We'll see if we get to see either of them.
They showed a graphic. I guess Trey Lance, is he a quarterback for the chart? Who's he quarterback?
One of them now.
When I seen the graphic, I thought it was Ben Simmons. I did not. He did not.
I can see that.
It was crazy. I was like,
Charger. Yeah, he's on the Chargers.
Charger.
Yeah.
So if you count that, football's here. It's the itch is finally over. So I'm sure people will be watching that just to be able to watch some football. And of course, preseason high school football starting, and then fall camp, which we're going to have Kyle Sutherland come on next. Not this Monday, but the following Monday, when we have a full week of fall camp practice to recap what he's seen so far on that. But today was quite interesting. I know last night we had talked about, of course, the Devil's Den killer being arrested while getting a haircut, how quickly that all unfolded. So it's good to hear, because for the most part, Adam, I go outdoors. I'm sure you go outdoors. There's a lot of people that was, worried about going outside, and killer's still on the loose. There was a report coming out, this thing could take months, decades, years, decades. So, everybody has a sense of security. So it was really good to see that he had been arrested. He did admit to the murders, but everything that unfolds with him, and now what we're seeing about him and reading about him, is very, very disturbing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things. He may have admitted to it, but we'll see what happens when he gets into the courtroom, because no public defender, no whatever, is going to allow him just to come in and say, yeah, I did it, and go on from there. But, unfortunately, it's the world we live in these days. So it's no matter where you are, just watch your surroundings.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And there's a lot of people, pack, carry, it's one of those things. And not just for that too, because look, bears, critters, anything that can come your way, be safe out there, but again, condolences to the family, to the two kids that lost both their parents. But yes, tomorrow fall camp starts. Football team met with the press today, heard some interesting things, and some same things, stuff that we've heard year after year about speed and what they've changed in Taylen Green. But then there was a thing that local car dealer came out and said a bold claim on the Buzz Morning Mayhem with David Basil this morning. And Frank Fletcher said this:
we win 8 games this year, I will give away 12 brand new automobiles.
Okay. All right, 8 games.
That gives us 4 to lose. I think that's
not count the bowl game. This regular season.
Yeah, I was
going to
say, out of 12.
This is regular season. Regular season.
Yeah.
So it'll be 8-4.
Are they going to raffle those off?
Who knows? I mean, I'm just looking at it like, yeah, you're getting, your business name out there, which everybody knows Fletcher.
Yeah.
but I want to know where your hope as a business owner, as a Razorback fan, as it's all this stuff for you to, come out, hey, we're going to do this if they win 8 games. Like, in your heart of hearts, sir, do you think that they're going to win 8 games? Are we just saying things to say things and to get on the air and get talked about?
Adam, if you owned a car lot, would you put 12 cars on the line if you truly thought they had a chance at winning 8 games?
No, I think that I would, if I had whether it was one dealership or multi dealerships, I think I would do or try to work out something, do something, whatever, like Utah, they did with the Dodge dealership for their football team on leasing the vehicles to the scholarship athletes. They all got trucks while you are playing for the University of Utah. When you transfer out or you run out of eligibility, you turn it back in. I think that is a better payoff than, giving away vehicles to fans if they win 8 games.
Now, he didn't specify which automobiles. He used the term automobiles. So he said 12. He didn't say brand new.
He said new.
New. Oh, okay. All right. And he did say regular season games. But no, I mean, you're thinking, let's just go average, 50, 60 base value of a brand new car. So 40 to 60. So you're looking at $400,000 to $500,000. I don't, I do not think that he expects it, but all BS aside, I applaud him on the fact that he's a fan. He wants to get people hyped up. He wants to put it out there. Look, if they go 8 wins, I'll throw out 12 cars. So, and then Wright's Barbecue double down. And they said, if Arkansas gets 8 wins, they'll double down with the 12 line passes. Now, I'm not familiar. I'm not Northwest Arkansas, so I don't know. Somebody in the comment section can, let us know what that is. But he doubled down and said that, let me pull up the tweet real quick. 12 skip the line passes. So whatever that may be, I guess you go to the front line and get whatever you want. So, it could be a cool thing where if other people get involved in this and other, boosters or promoters get, but it was kind of funny that, we're hoping for 6 to 7 wins regular season and that 8 win. Now that's going to be something that we're going to be looking forward to if they do. I think it would be crazy if they did hit that 8 win mark. I think it would be funny to see what would happen, what kind of vehicles he is giving away and who gets them. That's what I want to look for.
You're getting a base model Chevy Spark that, it cost you $20,000 maximum.
You're going to have to roll up your own windows. You're going to have to roll up your own seat.
So, and it's something too, like me and some friends, it's one of those seasons that, Pittman on the hot seat, Pittman not on the hot seat. Everybody's got opinion about it. There's quite a few people out there that's like with the, potential job on the line, if you will. There's several folks that's like, watch, they're going to come out and get 8 or 9 wins. And again, I'm in that boat of, if we do, fantastic. Like we all have talked about, that's what we want. You and I have both just it's one of those things. We have no issues eating crow. If I'm wrong on my, predictions and whatnot, you come out and overachieve, so be it. If people are, downplaying how good you are, good. Go in and smack people in the mouth. That's all we've been asking for.
Yeah. And then, you're talking along those lines, Brandon Marcello, Auburn guy, Arkansas guy, now he's national, has usually been really, really supportive of the Razorbacks. He's been very positive, optimistic. He put out a list of the SEC's top schedules, and Arkansas has the 3rd toughest schedule per Brandon Marcello. And this is what he had to say about the Razorbacks. He said, Sam Pittman is on the hot seat and reaching bowl eligibility should probably be enough to save his job again against this schedule. Finding wins is difficult. He said the easiest game on this schedule is Arkansas State, but that carries significance because the Razorbacks have never played the Red Wolves after previous administration refused to schedule them. What happens if, dare we say, Arkansas loses in Little Rock? And also on the non-conference schedule is last year's national runner-up Notre Dame and a trip to Memphis. In the SEC, the Hogs travel to Ole Miss, Tennessee, LSU, and rival Texas. Can you spot 6 wins? I mean, that's legitimate. And this is from a guy that is as optimistic as he can be. And he's saying, can you spot 6 wins? And I'm not going to speak for him, but in a way, he's trying to find 6 wins on that schedule, as we are.
Mm-hmm. It's tough for me still. I'm still sticking around the 4-win mark.
Yeah.
And hey, I was wrong last season. I had no issues admitting that I was wrong last season. If you lose to Arkansas State, I don't know if Sam Pittman makes it back to Fayetteville.
I don't think he gets out of the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. It'd be a Jack Crow situation all over again. I mean, that's what happened. I believe if history serves me right, when they lost to Citadel, he was out that very next week, I believe. Someone can refresh my memory, but I'm pretty sure Crow got beat by Citadel and he was out. But yeah, absolutely. If they somehow lose to Arkansas State, it would be, and this is not a hot take, I think a lot of people could agree with it because of the significance of the game. If Arkansas loses to Arkansas State, that would be the most embarrassing loss in the history of Razorback sports.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm going to swing this question kind of in the same ballpark. And it was a post that I saw that a friend was tagged in and showed up on my news feed. Do you think, because the person was questioning why Arkansas, now we've scheduled Arkansas State, they've played all these other UAPB, other Arkansas schools, whatever. Now it's kind of like Arkansas State fans did before this all happened, but now you've got UCA fans, University of Central Arkansas, thinking that because we're playing these FCS schools, we're playing Arkansas State, we played UAPB, is Arkansas now ducking UCA? And I'm just kind of like, are we just doing the same thing that Arkansas State fans did? Like, what is it? Because we're kind of, in my opinion, still in a vulnerable position as a program that, a team, they're comfortable with saying, hey, why don't y'all schedule UCA?
Is that and this is no disrespect, is that like a serious question? Because look,
I think it was all seriousness.
I don't want to disrespect anybody in Central Arkansas. I don't, and look, you can joke around about the state of, I do not think the Arkansas State game is going to be close. I don't. You're even going down a level of FCS level. And don't get me wrong, UCA's had one hell of a program. But it's just the level, it's the depth. It is where you could say, okay, this is the SEC. Somebody is just trying to get clout or even just try to put themselves in a situation to, we're already swatting the gnats when it comes to Arkansas State. The UCA talk is just one of the things where you got a bug on your shoulder and you just flick it off. I mean, and again, this is no disrespect to UCA. It has nothing to do with the program. It's the whole thing with, you put those two teams on a field, I just don't see it being anywhere close. So again, it might cause ruckus. I don't know. I'm not trying to do this to be funny, troll. It's just my honest opinion. There is a huge difference between putting Arkansas on the field and UC on the field.
Definitely. And this just came across. This is not football related, but a Major League Baseball trade announcement. Mason Molina former Hogs pitcher, is heading to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, wow. Okay,
So-
awesome.
Some random baseball news in the afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, and that's cool because, there's a lot of Cardinals fans and we've talked about the fandom when it comes to the pro sports. So it's really good that, man, I'm trying to really think outside of, there was an Arkansas connection with the Royals.
Mhm.
And because didn't Benintendi start out before he went to the Red Sox? Didn't he start out with the Royals or something like that in the Royals
I think it was
program? Okay.
Royals, Red Sox, White Sox.
Because I know he went to the Red Sox, but I want to say he was somewhere closer before him, but I could be totally wrong. But anytime you can get a pro player, we've seen it with Oklahoma City. You don't see it as much with baseball until, because I think it takes so long. I mean, you even look at Kerstad, his time with the Orioles, really have to get up there and into the show and make a statement to get in the starting rotation and lineup. But
yeah, he was Boston Red Sox drafted.
Okay.
And then Kansas City Royals, then New York Yankees,
That's what it
and
was.
White Sox.
Okay. I had it reversed. I thought he started, so that was my bad on that. But having somebody where you watched them in the pros and you can drive to go see them, I think that's really cool, a nostalgic thing where you can kind of bring back some memories and then go support. And I'm sure it means something to them. They're been in the league a few years, and then they go to the Royals game, and hey, we got some Razorback fans.
Definitely.
But also, I didn't even forgot to even mention this in the intro. But along with you got Clint Stoner and Ryan Mallett headlining and Dwight Stewart headlining the Hall of Honor class. Darren McFadden was, and I want to kind of get your opinion on it. He was surprised with the patch where whoever wears the number 5 will be able to wear this Darren McFadden patch. Are you satisfied with the fact that they did something to honor him, or are you like, and I've seen a majority of the Razorback fans, that it's retire jersey or nothing? Where do you stand on that?
I think the patch is a cop out. I think that it's the easy way out. I think that this was a way for them to, when I say them, the university athletic department, to feel like they've done something more to honor him, whatever. No, I'm in the mindset of retire it, or if you don't want to retire it, do like some other schools have done, and you deem that number 5 for one of your top leaders, top players, or like who's going to be like, if you've got a stud running back coming in, like they get the honor of wearing number 5. And don't let anybody, and this is no, because they're not doing it obviously, but like, nobody on defense should be able to wear it, in my opinion. Like I know Cam Ball is, I think Cam Ball's getting the patch.
Yes.
And more power to him. I just think if you're going to do it, have it just for the running back. Don't let anybody else wear it, or retire the jersey.
Yeah, I think they should retire it. When it first come out, and of course you're hyped, you think about it and stuff. And at first, I was thinking, man, just be happy that they did something. Look, they've taken so long to honor him and other players. Yes, they have the Hall of Honor and stuff like that, and they've retired a couple of jerseys. But the more I thought about it, I think a little part of me thinks they did this because they knew the reaction, and it would just be something else for them to say, see, we're doing something nice and you still complain about it. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but that's part of where my head was going when they did that, because you know how they like to brag about things. So you sit there and you're thinking, okay, are they really that petty? Are they really that petty that they would do that, honor him? And they're like, okay, we know people are going to be, wanting to retire, and they're going to gripe about it more than they are celebrate it. So they can just come out and be, or not come out and say, but they would say, oh, see, we can't do nothing without y'all complaining about it.
I mean, I feel like that any decision, any move they make, it's going to be, critiqued and everything by the fans.
Yeah.
It's one of those that I'm not saying that the athletic department or the football program is in a lose-lose situation when it comes to decisions, but at the same time, it's one of those things I kind of look at like the presidential rating, how they put out, the approval rating, if you will. I'd be curious to see what Hunter Yurachek's approval rating is right now with the fan base.
Yeah.
And maybe that I'm not saying, get a poll going or anything, but I'd be curious because, I know that there's a lot of fans like, overall, yeah, he's doing a good job. But you've got a lot of fans that, especially over the last couple of years plus, some decisions that have been made, have really rubbed them the wrong way. So I'd just be curious to see where the overall approval rating would be for the athletic director.
You think it's sub 40?
I think it's probably right around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but I do like the patch. I mean, again, but also let's think about a patch and what it means now. To the fans and to Darren McFadden, they're going to take it. But do you think so? The player wearing it, yeah, they're going to make it's an honor. But do you think that really means what it used to with just the times now, transfer portal, NIL? Do you think it really means something? And plus, how long it's been? How much do you really think it means to somebody like Campbell, or if it was a running back? I mean, we've seen Rakeem Boyd, wear it. How much do you think that means to them putting on that number 5?
I think to some it means a lot. I think it would mean more to the players from the state, and obviously we've reached that point to the players coming in now. They didn't watch Darren McFadden.
Mm-hmm.
They've just heard the lore of Darren McFadden, and I get that being able to don the patch means something. And you're already wearing the number. I get it. For some reason, it's just one of those that I think designating that number to a specific person. But you do have some players that are very protective over their number, coming in, that they may not want to wear number 5. So I can see both sides of it. The retiring the jersey thing, I get why people don't do it. And, like was pointed out here, there's only so many jerseys to retire. Totally get that. And at the same time, I don't think necessarily that jerseys or numbers are over retired, but I think in some cases, like we've seen in Colorado, jerseys are retired for no reason whatsoever. It's one of those things that I don't think that Shadur Sanders should have had his number retired. We all know why. I can see obviously more of a point for Travis Hunter, won the Heisman.
That's got to be a slap in the face to him. Like, he stayed loyal to Dion, and he won the Heisman, and still watched a quarterback who went 13-12 get his jersey retired. So, but with Darren McFadden, it's different. And I think I don't know of another number. And again, all of Razorback sports, maybe the 34 in Corliss Williamson, that if you said that number, they automatically jump to, and I'm talking majority. You're going to have your generations where, 10, that's Todd Day. I'm talking about as a whole, maybe Corliss. But other than that, you say the number 5, they know it means Darren McFadden. And I think a lot of that things, plus what he did for the University of Arkansas, there's not just been a slew of running backs that have been, 2-time Heisman runner-up. What he meant to this state and still does is enough where his jersey should be retired. His name should be on the state, those Ring of Honor things, his name should be inside the stadium, because he is the epitome of what it means to be a Razorback. And the ultimate goal is to get there to try to win a Heisman Trophy. And he was the best running back by far to come out of this program. So it's hard for me to believe that he's not. And I'm afraid that it's going to be one of those situations where they wait till it's kind of too late to do it. Not saying he passes or anything like that. I'm just thinking by the time they finally come around and they do it, it's just going to be like, y'all should have done this 20 years ago.
And the only other number that I would say, I mean, it's one of those things, and this isn't because he passed away or whatever, but Ryan Mallett before his death was always 15. He's always going to be 15. And that's, another, but when you look at other numbers, there's multiple cases of, you hear 22 and what you think Peyton Hillis, but you also think, wasn't it Jeb Huckabee?
Yeah.
I mean, or Caleb Mill, one of them, which I've mixed up now, obviously, but you run into multiple players that have worn it over time. And I think since, Ryan Mallett came and went, like, that's his number and will always be his number.
Yep.
And that could even be something too that we're talking, and I'm not trying to compare the two or whatever, but that's something that if you're retired, you're not retiring, but you're honoring McFadden, do you do something like that for Ryan Mallett? But then you get into his time here, and now you look at it that there's records of his were broken. So I don't know that you could have a talking point in a case for multiple situations, but in the long run, I mean, I get the patch thing, but I think it was the easy way out.
Absolutely. And I do think it does open up a can of worms because, and this is on their fault, not the fans' fault, not the players' fault. But just like what you said, it opens up the can of worms of, well, you done it for Darren. Now this person should be, do you retire the 15 in other sports? Do you start retiring? It'd be a never ending, again, can of worms of now they want the 10, or do you retire Scotty's? Do you retire, Mayberry, Day? Who else in other sports? Do we start getting into the baseball? So, but I just think with McFadden, every rule has an exception. I think he's one of the exceptions because he transcended over. He wasn't just a football star. He was an Arkansas star. And what he meant to Arkansas athletics, not just that sport. It is, again, enough alone where if you're going to do that, I think he's the one that gets it the most. Like if you were to have to pick one player of any sport that hasn't had their jersey retired, I think he's in a league of his own.
Definitely. And at some point, you've got to draw a line when it's, special numbers designated to players or retire. I mean, like we said, there's only so many numbers to go around. You've got to draw the line at some point. So I totally get, McFadden over others, got snubbed out of 2 Heismans. So who else has done that in Arkansas history?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I mean, there's people you could say been snubbed once. How many people can say they've been snubbed twice?
Yeah, 100%. And that my part always that goes to the Tim Tebow argument that year. It was we were in this time that it was like a sophomore's never won the Heisman. I think he was a sophomore or whatever. But it was like, no, he's never going to. And then boom, the year they decide to was the year, he's going up against Darren McFadden. And it was the same, you flash forward, Johnny Manziel, no freshman's ever going to win the Heisman. And then, but, it's just one of those that's we always, we're not going to because of this. They're not going to do this. And then when it's against Arkansas or an Arkansas player, they do it. And, just kind of like we always joke about the co-players of the week and of this and of that. It's like if they'll find a way, they'll make sure Arkansas doesn't get it.
Yeah, and what I really think, I know we've went down this Darren McFadden rabbit hole, but I've been watching, of course, football. They're leading up, and there's a bunch of people that they put out the list of these top 25 running backs of all time, and the amount of polls and lists I see that doesn't have Darren McFadden on it, and then you go in the comments, and people, they're not just Razorback fans. They're like, you not having Darren McFadden on this I mean, again, it goes to what he meant to college football as a whole. If other people, hundreds of comments in there, like, dude, Darren McFadden's one of the best running backs of all time. Not saying he's the best. Yeah, I'm fighting with top 5, but it's hard. It is really, really, really hard. Like, you can definitely say top 10, but it'd be really hard to go top 5 running backs of all time and put him in it.
I think a lot of the way he's left out is potentially how Arkansas teams as a whole performed while he was here. Absolutely. I think if he had been on a higher ranking team that had done more, he would be higher up on those lists.
Or if he would have won a Heisman, he would have
exactly. I think that they're taking into consideration, how Arkansas, hey, you got 8 wins, congrats. It's one of those, like, you weren't playing for a BCS, you weren't highly ranked throughout, so it was kind of one of those that they drop him down a notch.
Yeah. But he was one of those that you knew he was getting the ball 60% of the game and you still couldn't stop him. He could run it, throw it. That's back when they had him and Felix Jones back there to kickoff return. Just a very dynamic player. And just, I mean, there's a lot of people who say Reggie Bush was better than him, but I would be willing to see what he could have done with a program like USC. And, it's one of those that you see it, you've seen him matched up against who he was. I would say he's up there with Reggie Bush.
I think that I put Reggie Bush ahead of him just because of, and some of that's USC success, how dynamic he was. It's hard for me not to put Reggie Bush towards the top, or at least surpassing McFadden.
What we're going to do, we're going to take a quick 30-second break, hear a word from our sponsor, and then we'll wrap up our show for this Thursday edition. And at the end of it, have a big announcement that we will be coming out with tomorrow. So we'll kind of tease it, but we have a big announcement that we will be announcing tomorrow. We'll catch you right after the break. Looking to enhance your home's curb appeal? Look no further than Vision Exteriors. As your trusted roofing, siding, and exterior experts, we're here to transform your property. Our skilled team ensures your job is not only functional, but also aesthetically pleasing. Along with roofing, we also offer window, gutter, and siding installation to boost your home's appearance with our quality options. Visit us at www.visionexteriors.com or call us at 479-397-4770. Let's make your vision a reality. And want to welcome you back to the Hog Talk Podcast. We're currently having some Facebook difficulties on our stream right now, but you can catch them on mine, Adam's page, YouTube, and Instagram right now. So if you're on that watching on the Facebook and it come up, you can follow us on the other pages. But before we wrap up, I mean, again, just fall camp. What do you think? What are you wanting to get at? I know it's hard to judge. It's fall camp. What are you expecting, or what would be something that you would hear from fall camp that would surprise you or impress you?
Honestly, I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid. So it's like, I don't feel like anything will, just be straightforward with us, concerns, issues. I don't have no issue with you praising players, just, overhyping it to the point like, I don't want to hear about miles per hour.
Yeah.
Talk about the standouts, which they've apparently been doing, like I've said, I think Antonio Jordan's going to be the breakout star of this team. And that's, something I don't want a bunch of coach speak day in and day out. I would just like a sense of realness in where this team is at. Hey, we sucked here, but we were great here. Hey, we need to work on this, but we excelled in this. I'd rather them come out and not dance around stuff and just be straightforward with us. That's what I would like. but we'll see if that happens.
I'm with you. And again, no disrespect. Again, it's just there's nothing that they can do to, I guess, perform in camp that's not going to have me concerned about what are we going to see in week 3, week 4, week 8. I want to see them beat people that they're not supposed to beat. Not saying you have to go out there and be a world beater and beat Notre Dame. But I mean, if you really want to hang with Ole Miss and beat them, but my 2 things is, and we'll break down when we get into the game by game or season outlook, the 2 games I want to see, and I'm going to put both of them in there. It's A&M and Missouri, which I think if you've improved, you've gotten better, you should be able to beat those teams. If you want to be a better program, you should compete with them. And another thing, and we'll play this last clip before we head out, is if you're heading into fall camp, and man, I hate even going to kind of down this road because it does deal with somebody being injured or hurt, but the timing threw me off because now's not the time to be saying this, because it's almost like you're making excuses for last season. And you're like, well, we didn't do this or do that. But Coach Sowers said something interesting today, and we'll talk about it after the clip.
And how bad Taylor was hurt last year. This year, especially the last half of the season, I'd watch out. I mean, the kid's worked his butt off. We've kind of kept it in-house, but he's a tough sucker. I mean, what he dealt with the last 7 games of our season, I mean, in the bowl game, a lot of people wouldn't even play. I'll just keep it like that. I'm not going to let his info out. But long story short, he's a tough kid. He's put on 10 pounds. Another kid put on 10 pounds. It looks like it. And his speed, he is now, the last 2 weeks of summer is really trending up. So his speed is only going to get better too. So.
Again, very vague, but it just seems like, I don't know. It didn't, I wouldn't say rub me the wrong way, but it's just like, it's like tired. Like, I don't want to hear that. It doesn't have no bearing on who he is now, because a lot of it was his accuracy, his decision-making. It wasn't his physicality. He could go out there and run and hang with the best of them. A lot of I want to see him be more accurate, make better decisions, not just chunking up there. And I don't think he'll be able to this unless, again, one of these breakout stars come out from the wide receiver core that he can trust. He can just throw up there and catch it. So that was just my take on it. I think the timing was poor, and in a state of your program where you're already making excuses because of this schedule, you're hearing media outlets say, well, with this schedule, I'd be surprised. I mean, throwing all that out there and then adding that right before fall camp and then leading everybody, well, what was his injury? Well, where was he hurt? How, it just puts a negative light heading into the fall camp to me.
I mean, we all knew, you could see that he was hurt last season. We all knew it. So at the same time, it's just kind of like, hey, he's progressed this summer. He's gotten better from the injuries last year, and then just be done with it. I don't need a further explanation of, we don't know how bad it was. We don't know how serious it was. Because then I feel like if something were to happen, God forbid, that you're going to be able, you're going to come back to like that clip right there. You're going to come back to see, we told you that this was really bad. Before, and it's just I think it could have been done without. I don't know what the actual question was, if it was just about where they saw Taylor at, whatever. But at the same time, let's just talk about the now, and let's not talk about last season.
Yeah, and it's easy to get there, man. You didn't know how bad he was hurt. I mean, no, we didn't. But if you really thought he was that hurt and detrimental to the team, that shows you where your depth is. So hopefully they have more depth where they don't have to send him out there and feed him to the lines. I mean, you think the last 7 games of last year was hard. Look at the last 7 games of this schedule. So, I mean, all that does is show you if they don't have the depth up front, they don't have the line up front. You're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So after the Notre game, Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State, LSU, Texas, Missouri. So, I mean, I guess if you wanted to throw that Notre Dame game in there too. So you're finishing out the season after Memphis, Notre Dame, Tennessee, A&M. You know Tennessee's going to want that win back. You got to go to Death Valley. You got to go to Austin. And you know how Sark feels about the butt whooping you gave him the last time he was in Fayetteville. And then you got Missouri. We know how Drink feels. So I don't know. Again, we'll see what happens. Fall camp starts tomorrow. We've made it through, I guess, again, we can say official end of off season. Enjoy football tonight. We got football coming up in the next few weeks. But Adam, you got anything else before we wrap it up?
Nope.
We do have an announcement. We have to wait till tomorrow to kind of pull back the curtain. So be looking forward to that partnership with Hog Talk Podcast alongside Believe. So we'll be able to announce that tomorrow. Very excited about that. A lot of content will be coming through that. So we are very pumped and excited about the opportunity that we'll share tomorrow. So be looking forward to that on all socials and moving forward on our streams. But for Adam Hall, I'm Porter Hayes. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, all of our sponsors. We'll catch you on Monday.